and welcome back to the Big Scuba podcast. Hello, Gemma.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
I'm super. I'm qualified.
So, yes, we'll get to that in a moment. Let's not get too carried away with ourselves. Welcome back, everybody. You're now tuning into the Big Scuba. This is episode 22, Gemma.
It's 22, definitely, yes.
Brilliant. And this is a special one, so welcome. This is the PADI Women Dive Day special episode. So thanks for tuning in and downloading. And also, this is another little special one, is because Gemma, you are now a qualified PADI diver.
I'm an open water diver, yeah.
You've made it. We didn't drown you in the process. You made it. Well done.
I survived, yeah. And I want to go diving still.
And we will. So, it is a special episode. It's all about celebrating our fantastic PADI women divers who are out there. And we've got a special guest. We've got a special guest host as well.
We've got a co-host, our special co-host, all the way from the other side of the world.
From the Bahamas. And that is Cristina Zenato. And we've been blessed by Cristina coming on to help do this and also listen to the messages that we've got. And again, it is all about celebrating you women divers who are out there.
Yeah, we've had some great contributions from a range of different women and how diving has changed their life as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So how about you, Cristina? What does World Women's Dive Day mean to you?
Well, as a seasoned diver who started way before the women were very much comprehensive into this world, it is actually really good to have a day that is dedicated to remind women that it is a world open to us and it is a world available, and that if you put your mind to it and if you're really, really interested, is definitely something that we can do. It is a celebration, and for me it's a celebration of the women that have paved the road way before us as well. But it's a celebration all along the way of all these women that have put in all their efforts and all their trials, and kind of like open doors and broken glass ceilings that maybe were there for us to be able to swim through and then maybe reach the next one and then do something else. So I think it is very important to have it recognized and to show quite a lot of women in our demographics that still think that is something inaccessible to them, that is actually not. So PADI Women's Day for me is a realization of something that I started 26 years ago, and is finally a community coming together and say, yes, they are here and they do belong to our community and they actually contribute. And that is the beautiful thing, I think, about PADI Women's Day.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah.
All right, let's start.
Okay, so we get straight into the first one. Her name is Andrea Mendoza, and she is based in Honduras in Central America. So you should be able to hear this.
Yep. Hello to everyone that's listening to this. My name is Andrea Mendoza. I am a biologist and aspiring marine conservationist from Honduras. I have a bachelor's in science and biology, as well as specialties in zoology and aquatic sciences. I am also a certified PADI dive master, and for the past year, I have been working as a community outreach coordinator at the Whale, Shark, and Oceanic Research Center in Utila, Honduras. Honduras is a small country, but we are rich in biodiversity, and from a very young age, I have always been inspired by the natural world. This is actually something that drove me to pursue a career that would allow me to not only understand, but admire the natural world. So I decided to pursue a career in marine biology and conservation, and this drove me to the small island right in the middle of the Caribbean called Utila, where for the past year and a half I have had the very lucky and wonderful experience to study and interact marvelous organisms such as whale sharks, manta rays, and even orcas. Also, the fact that I got to dive the second largest barrier reef almost every day is something that I never took for granted. It is something that is inspiring on its own. For me, the ocean represents hope, not just for our natural world, but also for humanity. After getting the opportunity to closely interact with the local community in Utila, I firmly believe that education is one of the main keys to guarantee the protection of these vibrant yet vulnerable underwater ecosystems. It is something that pushes me every day to try to do better, not only for myself, but for our natural world.
There we go. So that was our first woman.
That's really good to hear. And one of the things that really came across to me is the word educate. Christine, that's the word that you use yourself, isn't it? Educate, we explore, we educate, and we conservation or conserve.
It's exploration, education, conservation. Andrea makes two very good points, and I think those are the key points. She had a passion and a love for the ocean that then made her go towards the ocean. And then while she was in it, she realized the value of education. And I think education is the key. And women in a certain way, and I was really listening to all of this, and I'm thinking, oh wow, whale sharks, mantas, and even orcas, and the capability of being able to collect all of this, feel all of this, and then wanted to share with someone. Because education is not just imparting numbers, this is a block of knowledge that I have. But I think education is, and Andrea, you can hear through her voice, is sharing what makes you get out of bed every morning, what makes you so excited. The fact that she recognized that she was diving in one of the most beautiful reefs of the world and never took it for granted. Chances are every person that came in contact with her and still comes in contact with Andrea will feel the same energy and the same vibe, and that is absolutely inspirational, I think.
Yeah, to pass on that energy is just infectious, and that's the way that you'll get more people into the diving world. Yeah, that's good. Our second woman is Ashley Powell. She's from the UK, and she's actually the reigning Miss Scuba United Kingdom.
Mrs. Scuba?
Miss Scuba. Yeah, it's something. There is a Miss Scuba International, but it runs every year, and Miss Scuba UK. Ashley Powell is the reigning queen or miss. Okay, right, here we go.
Hi, my name is Ashley Powell, and I am the current Miss Scuba UK. I've been diving for 7 years now, and I'm a certified dive guide. So to celebrate PADI Women's Dive Day, I want to use this opportunity to talk about my love for the ocean, scuba diving, and to share a few of my own experiences. So I've always been fascinated by the ocean and marine life. I would always snorkel on holiday, but I wanted to scuba dive. When I was 18, I came across Miss Scuba UK and decided this was the perfect opportunity. The pageant took place in Egypt, and if you've ever been diving in the Red Sea, you'll understand how lucky I was to have my first diving experience here and to gain my open water certification. I was fascinated by the amount of marine life, amazing corals, the feeling of weightlessness, and most of all, the beautiful sound of the underwater ocean. I never once felt scared, I just knew this would be a hobby of a lifetime. Through the years, I have been lucky enough to dive in many locations, from Egypt, Malaysia, Thailand, Cyprus. Scuba diving around the world has provided me the opportunities to learn more about different cultures, but most importantly, I have realised how urgently we need to all do what we can to save our ocean. As you know, climate change is real and happening. Every dive site I've been to has been affected by climate change as well as plastic pollution. It is our personal responsibility to make a change, no matter how big or small. Just remember, small actions made by millions of people has the power to make a change, and as consumers, we hold the power. Lastly, I want to say a big shout out to all of the female powerhouses that have inspired me personally within the industry. So of course, my Miss Scuba UK directors, Jill and Sue, you are utterly fabulous. My Miss Scuba UK girlies, and all the women I've been lucky enough to dive with around the world. We've made some amazing memories, and I'm pretty sure we've shown what girl power really is. So lots of love from me and to all of my scuba friends, and happy International Women's Dive Day.
That's great.
That was perfect for me.
Good.
Yeah, that was good. Good, really good positive message.
Yeah, we've got 7 minutes left on this Zoom, and then yeah, at least we'll be able to whiz through them now.
I think I really agree with what she says. You know, everyone's got a role to play. Plastic, you know, it's not going to go away. There's to be more effort to sort that out. And I think she made a really good point. You know, everyone's got a role to play. Small efforts, or you know, if together, or singly, it's a small effort, but all together, it's a big effort, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, the ocean is made of little droplets, so each one of us can be a drop into the ocean and to make a change. One of the things that it really sounds really good, that is highlighting why a PADI Women Day is a good day, is for her, for Ashley, the journey was about encountering other women and other women that supported her and inspire her to do this. To imagine if each one of these women that are in the diving industry are met by other women through PADI Women Dive Day. Imagine women that don't even know about this, and they're like, "What? There's a Women Dive Day," and it's like, "Oh, I can go scuba diving," and then they can meet someone close to them that can actually help them and inspire them. So that was like very positive. Obviously, all the other stuff, but I really like the fact that you can tell that for Ashley, it was good to have women supporting her and creating this powerhouse to then basically continue her journey.
Yeah, no, she's really good. Okay, I'll play the second one because we've still got 5 minutes left. This is Dr. Janella. She's another marine biologist.
Dr. Janella?
Kelly.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniela Ciccarelli, and I'm a marine biologist. I work as a freelance researcher in coral reef ecology and marine protected area research. What drew me to studying and diving on coral reefs for 25 years is that they make up less than 1% of the ocean, but they're home to a quarter of all marine species. If you dive on coral reefs, you'll know what I mean. You will have witnessed how rich life is there. They provide food and coastal protection to billions of people, and most of them are in developing countries. They're also like the canary in the coal mine. If they start to die, that's the warning system that other ecosystems might be next. It's also important to remember that we humans have thrived at a time when coral reefs have thrived. If they die, how long before the world is no longer a place where we can thrive? The reality is that climate change is already causing great damage to coral reefs. In the past 5 years, we've had 3 marine heat waves causing coral bleaching. In the last 20 years, we've probably seen the loss of half of the world's coral reefs. The good news is that the more we study them, the more we're finding ways in which reefs are resilient and innovative ways in which we can tackle climate change. And it's great to see so many young scientists emerging with new ideas and grasping new ways of understanding the ocean and how we can coexist sustainably. At the beginning, when I was studying, there weren't that many women doing this, especially going on to higher positions or freelance work, either academically or in the diving industry. Now there are many more young women studying and working in this field, and some high-profile spokespeople for the environment who are women. To young women wanting to enter this world, I would say, work really hard, learn as much as you can, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and admit that you don't know things. Get fit and strong to support your diving activities, and stay open and curious, and add your voice to those demanding a more sustainable future.
It is a very powerful message, both in the her recognizing of the reef and talking about climate change and how only, like 1% of the oceans is made of corals, but like a quarter of the life is in there. furthermore is the message at the end that she tells to the young women, and we've been discussing this. You have to work hard, and you cannot be afraid to get your hands dirty. I mean, you and learn as much as you can, right? Stay curious. In my version, I tell people, learn horizontally, not just vertically. Don't just look up and just go up. Also learn all the other jobs that allow you to do your job a little bit better.
Yeah,
that's great. And there's another word. You know, we learned another word very recently, and you know, you taught us explore, educate, conservation. Ted Clark, you know, he explained he has on his mirror transform. So you develop and you transform, and you know, it's with that as well. And her message was really, really powerful, you know, about, you know, the things that she's involved with, and how, you know, she's at the front end. She's, you know, she's seeing the change, she's measuring the change, and talking to government bodies and saying, do you know what's going on? This is what's happening, and feeding that back to the big decision makers.
Yeah, and Dr. Ciccarelli comes from when she said 25 years ago, so like similar time when I started. So I can see how her was not an easy path at the time in science and all of that. So I definitely, I look up to Dr. Daniela and think an inspiration for the young women that can think they want to enter the world of coral conservation and all of that. Definitely, this was a trailblazer.
So that was a super strong message from
very much.
And I love the fact you could hear the birds calling in the background as well. I was just having this imagination of a real tropical scene, you know, the wind in the palms and the, you know, paradise birds all singing. That just sounded awesome. So great. Thanks for the message on that one.
Oh, that's great. So the next one we've got lined up is another young lady from the UK called Grace Westkoff. We have interviewed her in episode 4. She's still at college actually, but she's just got an amazing thirst for diving, and where her career is going to take her. So I will just
one for the future.
Yeah, definitely one for the future. Right, here we.
Hi everyone, it's Grace Westkoff, or as more people probably know me on Instagram as Scuba Grace. I am very happy to be a part of Women's Diving Day this year, and I just wanted to talk about what I feel is important right now in the world. So, as you might know, I want to be an underwater cinematographer, which hopefully means I'll be working on things like nature documentaries. And I want to do this not just because it'll be a great experience, but to educate people in how important the oceans are to us, and hopefully tell some impactful stories that will stick in people's memories. I think as a collective, most countries were just getting to grips with the reduced plastic thing and reducing waste in general. But it's been such a shame in the current situation that that's kind of gone out the window, and not many people are really thinking about it. However, it has been amazing to see all of these posts, especially on Girls at Scuba and groups like that, and seeing people who are making an effort to create products that will help us in the situation but are also sustainable. And I think that's really proved a point this year that we are getting so much better as a community. But anyway, moving away from that topic, it's so great that we're seeing just more women in general in the diving world and learning to dive at the moment. I've been seeing lots of posts where women are actually outnumbering men on boats, which is crazy because like that just would never have happened 10 years ago. And it's all about breaking the stereotypes, I suppose, because in my opinion, I don't think there's any place for them in the modern world because it's so different to how it used to be. They're just really outdated. I really just hope that we keep carrying on how we are, so things will look even better in 5 years' time. And finally, I just want to say a massive well done to Gemma for passing her open water course. That's really all I have to say. Thank you so much.
That was Grace.
Yeah, great message.
Yeah, she's got quite a mature view of things, which is great.
I highlighted 3 words, the same one that we keep going back to, which is educate. She wants to educate through cinematography, which is one way of education. Impactful, that is a very strong word, is just to create impactful stories for people also to be in a certain way shocked by, but also changed by. And then obviously the word sustainable, which goes back also to, you know, Dr. Ciccarelli about plastic reductions, and basically realizing that we need to have a better relationship with the ocean. Those are the three words that I heard in our conversation that really, really made me, you know, I kind of like wrote them down, and I think they're very important, all of them, and the three of them go together.
Yeah.
We educate to have an impact, and hopefully with this impact, which can change things. And one of the things that Grace wants to change is become more sustainable. So they absolutely go together in the way she expressed her future work.
Yeah, and she's got that mindset now to take her further through her career, and have that journey to make the change. So so that was Grace. So
pretty good.
So the next one we've got is Janella Williams, who Cristina, I believe you know.
Janella Williams, yes.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Janelle, and I'm from Jamaica. I've been diving for about 15 years now, and I'm certified up to PADI Rescue. I'm a scientist in my day job, but diving for me is more than just science. It's both duty and peace. I'm compelled to protect the marine environment, and so diving offers me a chance to, to check in, to, clean it up, protect it, make observations, even learn more about it. But then there's the aspect of peace. I'm sure other divers, perhaps even non-divers, can appreciate that the ocean, the water, gives an incredible sense of joy and peace that almost never fades. Since COVID, diving had been on pause for a few months, and so like many, I had been itching to get back into the water, and that opportunity actually finally came at the beginning of July. And I was like a kid again. I packed ridiculously way in advance. I woke up super early, and I got to the dive site like 3 hours ahead, and all because I was like, I want to go check on my friends again. And I think that's it for many of us. It's, even though some of us look at it from a conservation aspect or from research, at the root of it all, there's a love, there's a desire to always to protect it like it's our own, because it really is our own. I encourage anyone that's healthy to really consider diving. I mean, not only will you be, a part of our fun group of allies that protects the environment, but also you'll find yourself in a place that's just peaceful. And right now we could all use some peace.
That was a cool message.
I love it. Her voice changed when she said love. When she said love, it just outpoured like love and
and peace as well.
The peace and love, but it's just like outpoured. And then consequently, same thing. If you love something, it makes you feel so good, like so in peace. So she said, joy. I want to go and see my friends. Obviously, you protect what you love. Baba Dion said that in 1968 at the United Nations, right? You protect what you love, you love what you understand, you understand what you're taught, and here it is. So it's a scientist who looks at the ocean in a scientific way, and then goes, but I also love it, and I also want to protect it. And then again, it comes like full term. So, but that was really a good message, very encouraging. Everyone should try to go to the water. Everyone should try to have a connection with the ocean, and that is very true. I think if we open more opportunities for people, women as well, to be closer to the water, not necessarily just specifically scuba diving, it could be snorkeling, maybe a little bit of free diving or anything like that. I think we open up also more capability for this love to expand.
Yeah.
It is in our nature. It is in, to nurture and want to protect. So I just try to imagine an ocean of women that falls in love with this place and wants to protect it.
Yeah. And it's the peacefulness as well that came across. It's the ocean isn't a scary place either. So a lot of people
absolutely,
find peace there. So
it fills you with great thoughts that if there's people out there like Janella, I hope I've got her name right, you kind of think, do you know what, maybe the ocean actually is in a safe place. Maybe the ocean, when you look back, just at some of the people that have left us, you've given us messages so far, you kind of think, well, maybe the oceans are in a safe hands. That's good.
They are. We just need to have more hands that want to embrace the ocean. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you have an ocean of women that absolutely love these oceans, I think we can do so much more. And men, of course, but there is a nurturing part of us, I think, that is very much related. I actually look at the ocean. I consider the ocean a woman. For me, the ocean is a woman. And as a woman is very nurturing, caring, loving, and it can also get and angry as a woman. Only as a woman can.
Every now and then get quite angry.
Quite angry, yes. But if somebody said, what is the ocean? I would say it's definitely a feminine nature to me, not a male nature.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. So on to the next one. We've got Jill Heiner. Yeah.
Hi, this is Jill Heiner, Thunderwater Explorer, reaching out to you on Women's Dive Day, hoping to inspire everybody out there. This is a really weird time to be a full-time diver. We're all isolated, separated from each other, and unable to travel, and it makes things really challenging. But I just want to encourage you all to, hang in there, wear a mask, stay socially separated, and, maintain your vigilance until we have a vaccine. There are so many more adventures ahead. I've been so fortunate in my life to have some remarkable opportunities and experiences diving all around the world, from inside Antarctic icebergs to underneath the Sahara Desert and caves all over the world. I'm so fortunate and pinch myself every day to have had these experiences. And if I had just one tip for people out there who want to follow in my footsteps, it's to volunteer. When we volunteer, so many opportunities open up for us. So work hard, get involved in a project, and then ask for the gig for the next one. As I said, there's many great adventures ahead, and I hope to see you all in the water soon.
Brilliant.
There we go, volunteer. That's another great word as well.
Yes, which goes together with work hard, which brings us back to Dr. Janella. Jill, I know Jill, and Jill is an icon to me. I worked with her, we're friends, but exactly what she said is the same thing. These are women that come from more or less the same time and the same background, and it is that part. We need to put in the work. There's no qualms about it. Regardless of PADI Women Day and being women and all of that, we still need to understand that we need to put the work in and then go and search for opportunities. And that's what she said. And again, she said volunteer. And then the next time you can say, hey, I already done this before, volunteer, but now it's time for me to receive this as a gig. And rightfully so. Jill is extremely, to be iconical and inspiration. I think her words are very, very true. You have to seek opportunities, and the opportunities will seek you.
Yeah, and that comes back to working hard. Nothing will come to you. You have to go and find it as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was Jill. The next lady we've got is Leona Dickerhoff, founder of the Siren Project.
I am Leona Dickerhoff, and I am the founder of the Siren Project, which is a platform for female ocean conservationists. My ocean story started in 2012 when I moved to California to pursue a degree in marine science. This was also the year that I finally got scuba certified. And if you've ever gone diving in Monterey Bay, you know it's usually really cold, the visibility is bad, and the currents are really strong. So after all of our pool sessions, it was finally time to hop in the water. So me and my dive buddy get all geared up, and we were swimming out along this rock wall, which was beautiful with huge sunflower sea stars, lots of bat stars like purples and orange, lots of crabs, and we also had a couple of sea lions come over and check us out. And as we're just kind of swimming along, our dive instructor swims over to me and he tells me to reach out my hand, and he places something in it. And I see it's this really small sea star. It was a brittle star. And as I check it out, I kind of flip it over, and I already see my dive instructor just shaking his head, and I didn't get it. So I try to pass on the sea star, but now that I had flipped it over, its little tube feet started sucking onto my gloves, and it was just stuck so that I couldn't get it off. And I'm trying gently to kind of wiggle it around, and of course I rip off 3 of its legs, and I was mortified. My dive buddy started cracking up, bubbles everywhere. So after my first dive, this was freshman year of being a marine science student, I was known as the sea star killer.
And this is that all of us as a community do become conservationists, because each one of us can fulfill one piece of basically of the pie or of the entire images, and it's absolutely beautiful, powerful message. So I really very much like her work. I didn't know about her, initial as a star killer, but her work right now is very much highlighting all the women out there, and the background of the women that she's picking, that she's reaching out to, requires, I read every story, a lot of research. I mean, the amount of women that she features and how she reaches them from all social background, from all cultural backgrounds is actually pretty incredible. So Leona is doing a phenomenal conservation work just by highlighting those women. She doesn't even need to dive, and I think it's one of the other messages that maybe we need to take out. Diving is amazing. I want everyone to go diving, but if you want to work in conservation, you can actually contribute even if you're not diving.
If you're land-based.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. So yeah, there's a lot to learn from.
Actually, when you think about Project Aware, it's a big part of PADI, and they have, you can do learning as a non-diver, and there's things that open in Project Aware where you can actually learn and actually get a certification as a non-diver.
That's true, very much. Our world, our water.
Yeah, so it's a good point.
Yeah. So next we've got a lady called Natalie Gibb. She's a cave instructor, and she's the founder of Under the Jungle.
My name is Natalie Gibb, and I am a cave diving instructor, cave photographer, cave explorer, and owner of Under the Jungle, a cave diving center in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. I fell in love with cave diving 14 years ago. Not only are Mexico's caves beautiful, but they are important repositories of archaeological and paleontological remains and of geological history. They are the source of fresh water for all the Yucatan Peninsula. As a cave explorer, my exploration partner, Vincent Roquette Catala, and I have explored over 80 kilometers of previously undiscovered cave passageways here. It's been an exciting adventure, but exploration isn't just about finding caves. It's about advancing human knowledge of the planet. It's about sharing the knowledge of Mexico's caves with others, so this valuable freshwater resource may be conserved for generations to come. I think as divers, it's important to share your love of the underwater world with others. Tell them stories about your dives. Take pictures, even if it's just with a GoPro. Inspiring enthusiasm about the underwater world helps to conserve it, whether it's a coral reef, a shipwreck, a clear lake, or in my case, underwater caves. You don't have to be an extreme explorer to have an effect. Do the type of diving you love and share it with the world.
I want to go cave diving now. After I've now heard her message, I'm thinking, I want to go cave diving. She actually
share the knowledge.
Well, I just listened to her and you could hear the passion, the excitement, the enthusiasm, motivation. You know, it sounded like she was actually talking from a cave. You could hear like running water, echo, and you just thought, do you know what? Actually, this sounds really good. I want to have a go at cave diving now.
You want a little secret about Nat?
Yes.
She's a tiny, tiny woman.
Right, okay.
She's actually, it's like a perfect example. She's a small woman. She's not tall and she's very tiny, and yet she's this strong, powerful. Her voice reverberates through that, and she did not let her stature and her physical appearance actually stop her from being what she is, which is like a power force of cave diving, an expert 80 kilometers of exploration.
Yeah.
That is a lot. She's strong, she's determined, and she's used the two key words, right? She said, we need to have knowledge, and once we have the knowledge, we need to share it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And once you do that, you inspire to protect. And our best message is you don't need to be a cave diver. Same as I was saying, you don't need to do extreme explorations. She's share what you love. You love the starfish, you share your love for starfish. You love the tunicates, do that. If it's a wreck, if it's a cave. But that is, Nat is definitely a powerhouse and very much a representative, like, you know, like, I can do this.
She'd be, I don't know whether she does this already, so, but would be brilliant, like as a motivational speaker, and using cave and things as analogies. Brilliant. Yeah, listen to her all day talking about caving and, you know, great. It's like, yes, let's go grab some stuff.
Sign me up now.
Yeah, I'm signed up. I'm a believer. Let's go.
Yeah, no, that was a great one. Yeah. The next one, we've got another lady from the UK, Victoria. She is quite a new diver, 2018, but it was through her love of travel that I think she got into scuba diving. So
what's the surname?
Vicky Burton. Vicky Burton.
Right. Okay.
Hi, I'm Vicky, and I've been asked by the guys at the Big Scuba podcast to do a short video for International Women's Day. My diving journey began in 2018. My children were a little bit older by then, so I had a little bit more free time to invest in something that I really wanted to do. I've always enjoyed travelling, so I thought, why not combine both, scuba diving and travelling? You know, they really do go hand in hand. So I got certified in September on a very cold day at Cape and Ray in a wetsuit, which was very testing, but I managed to pass. And then I went to Thailand, I did a few dives out there, but it wasn't really until I got to the Maldives last March that I really fell in love with scuba diving. And I realised that it was something that I wanted to do on a regular basis, not just in warm tropical waters. So I got my dry suit certification, which has enabled me to dive all year round in UK water. Also last year I got advanced open water certified, and I got my nitrox certification, which was great for when I went to the Philippines because I could dive deeper and for longer. I've done a couple of PADI courses while in lockdown, so I've done the Projects Aware coral course, and I've also done a turtle course. And then this weekend I'm doing my rescue course. A bit nervous about doing that, but I've been told that it's a whole heap of fun. I'm just not looking forward to, you know, the parts where I've got to kind of drag some large chap out of a quarry, but I'm sure it will be fine. So what's up and coming for me? I'm going to Portugal next month. I'm doing Ocean Revival, which is in the Algarve. It's Europe's largest artificial reef, and there are some wrecks down there. So I'm going to do a couple of days exploring those, you know, having some fun. And then in September, I'm going to Jordan with Girls That Scuba. Hopefully, you know, circumstances permitting. We're going to do a couple of days like land exploration, and then we're going to the Red Sea and doing some dives. So yeah, thank you all for listening. Happy diving. Bye.
She's very enthusiastic, and yeah, she's obviously raring to go, going through her certifications, isn't she? So I like that. She's just yeah.
Well, she's a perfect example of what some of the more seasoned divers told her, like Jill and Daniela. And basically she realized, well, I just don't want to be once a year, you know, warm water. And she realized in order to be able to dive all the time, she had to fulfill like a course. And she said, well, work hard. So she first did her dry suit, and then she did her advanced, and then she did her nitrox. And so realized that in order to move forward, she also had to do these things. Which means we don't have to do them all at once. It doesn't mean, you know, you have to go out there and just like, oh, course after course after course after course. But after realizing a couple of things, Vicky set up few goals, and those goals were the ones she achieved in order to be able to expand her diving capabilities and enjoy that more. But it brings us back is there is, you know, some work to put in. But it's not inaccessible. It's accessible to everyone. And from what we hear from Victoria, her kids have grown up, right? So there is no age, there is no limit, there is no size. Now we know for any of us women to go out there and trying to achieve what we want to achieve.
Yeah, and no, she's a great example of that. And so yeah, and obviously, yeah, soaking it all up, which is great. Yeah.
And she's now doing the rescue course, which is a really great course to do. It's, you know, once you start that, it's the start of thinking about other people. You know, you're not just thinking about yourself as a diver. It's that start of, it's that crossover between, okay, you're no longer thinking about just yourself and how you are in the water. It's the how they, you know, and you're looking at other people, your buddy, and seeing potential problems, you know, it could arise, you know, even just like seeing hoses crossed over and potential getting snagged, you know, so doing good body checks. It's that thought about, right, you know, everyone else. So really good course to do.
No, really good. So the next one is Polly Wake, and she is actually my instructor. So it comes from the Crystal Sea Scuba in Norwich. So we'll just...
Hello, so I'm Polly Wake. I'm co-owner of Crystal Sea Scuba, a PADI 5-star dive centre in Norwich. And I've been lucky, I've been diving for over 20 years. I've been teaching for around 18 years, and I've been lucky enough to dive all over the world. I've lived and worked in some beautiful locations, including Bermuda, the Caribbean and the Seychelles, but most of my working and teaching has been in the UK, and I love it. I love the fact that I've been lucky enough to train some amazing divers over the years. Diving's transformed my life, and you see the difference it makes to people that we train as well. It's fantastic. We've trained boys, girls, men, women, such a range of people, from 8 years upwards in the pool for their SEAL team, up to divers in their 70s learning to dive with us. And it's such a joy to see people go through the process and discover that love of diving that we all have. We've just been diving today on one of our local shipwrecks off Weybourne Beach, a shipwreck called the Rosalie, which was torpedoed over 100 years ago. It's just beautiful, covered in life, crabs, lobsters, anemones, absolutely beautiful. We're very lucky to have it on our doorstep. And we were lucky enough to be diving with some of our students who just qualified on Sunday. So it's their first sea dive, their first pleasure dive beyond qualifying. And they all did great, and it was a lovely day. Great to see people out diving, doing what they love.
We need to just let everybody know that we recorded that straight after your first sea dive. It's
On the
recorded
beach.
on the beach. And you know, I hope everyone got the message, what Polly was talking about, because there is a little bit of wind noise on there. I think it's important to say that. And also, I think sometimes we get used to people and you can get familiar with people and you kind of forget how lucky we are as divers to have such great people around us. And I think Polly, you know, is one of them people, you know, because we have grown up as divers, and she's always there organising things, organising dives, getting other people organised, and we see that, and it's also it's quite easy to take characters in the diving world for granted. So you know, I think if PADI diving's about celebrating women divers, then I think Polly's is a good example of that, don't you think?
Yeah, she's inspirational, and she's such a patient person that wants to educate and fill you with all this scuba-ness, like all this passion that she's got inside her. She's just scuba-ness, yes, a new word. But yeah, she just like, you can talk to her and she's just like so excited about everything. It's just amazing.
You can hear that in her voice when she talks about like love and joy and how happy it makes her. And the most important thing is that she tried out a places. She's been in the Caribbean, she's been in Bermuda and all of that, and she said, I absolutely love sharing my UK diving and making a difference right here where I am. And then that I think it was very important. But you can hear in her voice that she's absolutely happy to go into the water. And I'm pretty sure, you know, as a Bahamian diver, some days it might not be as easy. Year round diving in the UK is not always easy. So to keep that joy and to keep that love and that passion for 18 years professionally, 18-year professional, that is pretty incredible. Definitely very much an excellent representative of women in diving.
Yeah. We are lucky to have Polly in our local dive segment, and I agree with that. And I'll tell you one thing as well. One thing that occurred to me at the weekend is that when Polly gives her briefings after a dive, you know, and we had pretty bad conditions, to be fair, you know, where you can hardly see your hand in front of your face at times. She still could find the motivation, the love, and the spirit, and the positiveness to put towards someone like Gemma, myself, the other students who are there, and not let them be put off by the conditions. Because it's quite easy as a new diver to go, whoa, you know, this is all too much. But she didn't. She kept them focused, kept them motivated to get back in that water, to get back in those conditions, to carry on.
Yeah,
you know?
she did.
That takes some doing, and fair play to Polly for keeping everybody focused and motivated to carry on.
Yeah, Polly forges mindsets.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, because it's this infectiousness that you just kind of, she passes it on to you, and you think, right, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a special lady. Okay, right, we're down to our final women diver. This lady is called Jessie, and she's in Lombok.
Hi, my name is Jessie, and I'm an advanced open water diver from Lombok Airport Dive Club, Indonesia. You can call me the Flying Mermaid because I work at the aviation industry and I love the ocean so much. When I tried scuba diving for the first time back in 2013, I didn't know how to swim, yet totally submerged in the deep blue ocean. Since then, I promised myself that I will do it again one fine day. 6 years after that, when I moved to Lombok because of work, I met my mentor, Mr. Nugroho Jati, a PADI dive master, who also the general manager of Lombok International Airport. That was at January 2019. He was the one who encourages me to take open water dive course, so I took it and got my open water certificate here in Lombok. I always fall in love with the ocean, but I never thought that I'll be a diver. And of course, it feels really amazing how I can challenge myself from not being able to swim to now being a passionate scuba diver. The underwater world always has its own way to make me fall in love in every single dive. And every time I go diving, it feels like going home. Basically, Lombok Airport Dive Club was created only for the employees of Lombok International Airport who wants to try diving. But after a few months, we took the club to the next level. We joined some events and projects with another party, for example, the Dive Against Debris, beach cleaning, and some project of coral transplantation in Sekotong, the southern part of Lombok Island. And we also have a mission to help the government to promote tourism in Lombok, especially the underwater destination. And proudly, I can tell you now that I've been chosen to be one of the Girls That Scuba official ambassador. The Girls That Scuba is the largest female-only scuba dive community in the world. It was founded on the simple idea of creating a safe space to celebrate females in scuba diving. And over the past 3 years, it has grown a hugely diverse group of women and cultivate a positive and supportive community. The Girls That Scuba Ambassador Program has been launched in order to work with a selected group of inspiring women to elevate positive representation of females in the diving industry. So that is my mission right now. As a Girls That Scuba ambassador, I want to encourage more women to try scuba diving. Thank you for listening to my story, and I hope one day we can meet and dive together. Bye!
Okay.
What an amazing way to end this. Absolutely, absolutely love everything about this. It just brings a full circle back around. This is the girl from a cultural background that we've been discussing as well, Leona, that did not know how to swim and never thought she could be a scuba diver, who is now part of this large world community, and her goal is to inspire more women to go scuba diving, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The key word I heard is when she goes to the ocean is that she is going home.
Yeah.
Beautiful word. What a story. This is an amazing story. And you can hear the passion. You can hear like how enthusiastic Jessie is about everything that is related with the ocean, the scuba diving. And she might be just an open water diver, but I think she's already has that, you were mentioning the rescue course. Her thought is about how can I inspire other women? How can I support other women? And so she's actually a rescue diver at heart, if we want to think about how to dive. Jessie already found her calling through the ocean, which is involving more people. And it's very, very inspirational.
And she also she recognises the diversity as well. It's not just women. There is a whole, it encompasses all. So yeah, that was quite an important, and from going flying to going under the water as well. She calls herself the Flying Mermaid.
Amazing women, and definitely inspired to go and look up each and every one of them. If I don't know, some of them, as I said, I know them and I'm already connected with, but the ones I don't know, I'm not connected with, definitely I'm going to go ahead and connect with and start following them on their Instagram accounts or Facebook, and follow their stories, because they're very, very beautiful, diverse stories.
And it, it just shows, it's a whole cross section, hopefully that we've shown there from, I think it's been quite successful.
So I think we had some great words come out of this. So we've had sustainable, knowledge, education, explore, conservation, love, peace, joy. It's time for a team hug. It's been a good thing, and I think all these people who have contributed have all done justice, I think, to PADI and help celebrate what is PADI Women Divers Day. So it's been
and
really
the passion
great.
for diving as well.
I think one of the things they highlighted is the good old adage that says, out of sight, out of mind. And although there's an intrinsic maybe love for water for all of us, if you listen to each and every one of the stories, is the moment they see it, it's just like, oh, wow. And then it becomes like this lifetime goal of saying, I want to protect it. So by opening up scuba diving to more people, the more people can feel this or see this through the different experiences. I think about Nat. Nat is all about cave diving, right? And Jill is about all different experiences. And Dr. Daniela is primarily about the corals, not that she might not love other things. But all through this experience, we can really bring in more eyes, more hearts, more awareness, and then piece us all together and tackle all the different aspects of ocean conservation.
Yeah, yeah, and all these small things make this a whole group. Yeah, makes it a bigger thing.
Including Polly, that makes you fall in love with UK diving.
Yeah, exactly. She plays a part.
You get extra points for that.
Yeah, I think as well, to go back on my earlier point, that people like Sylvia Earle, who are the trailblazers, who were inspirational and still are years ago, should be now perhaps hopefully happy that looking back now at what she started years ago, all these divers now coming up who've looked upon her, yourself, Jill Hyness, all these people are now coming up from, Grace, say, are now following suit. And you should hopefully now think, you know what, the oceans are in good, safe hands. We've got these people coming up who are going to be fighting the cause, fighting the battles. They're going to be using the love, the peace, the passion, the education to look after it.
And we have more people.
Hands tonight. It's good.
We have more people. We have more people coming up. That is the important thing. Instead of having just the iconic trailblazer of the one that broke the glass ceilings, which is amazing. We have done that. Each one of us has done that. Now that we have opened the door to more people. And I think that is the key word.
Yeah, it is. It is. And for generations coming, who get into dive, and hopefully, my children, other children, we had a 12-year-old girl on the course with Gemma. For people like her, it opens doors, and if anyone is thinking about diving, non-divers that are listening to this, you don't know where it's going to go. Don't know where a door will open and you start diving and you think, right, the world's your oyster. Literally is the oyster. And you think, right, okay, let's go with it. See where it's going to go.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah. So, yeah, I think, it's been quite a success.
It has. Christina, thank you very much for your time. It's been
my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Catching up with you. Thank you very much for giving us your time and giving us your insights into what PADI's Day is as well, what PADI's Women Divers Day is. So thank you very much, and it's been brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you. Can't wait to see it, to hear it.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that as much as what we did. Gemma?
Yeah, it's fascinating. Everybody's got a different story. Amazing.
Some brilliant messages there, and I think it's fair to say some messages there that kind of make you think.
Yeah.
Make you think about your own diving and life course. Some quite deep messages there, really.
Yeah, and the environment.
Expect.
The environment, big. Yeah, which makes it so important, and you're probably a bit more of an ambassador for the environment once you see the underwater world as well.
So I think we need to say thank you to everybody who has been involved making this little project this success is, and also to Christina for giving up some more of her time to come and join us on board the Big Scuba podcast.
Yeah,
and it's always really great catching up with Christina. If you haven't had a chance to find out a bit more about Cristina, you can look her up she's on social media, she's got her own website, and also People of the Water. Look her up on that. And also, Christina's been on episodes with us as well. So, do look her up. So before we go, just a very quick mention. I promised to mention Emily Turton up at Scapa, who couldn't make it. And for one thing or another, she runs the Huskian boat up there, and they've now took delivery of their brand new divers who are going up there today. So
it's a big celebration today.
Yeah, it's a big celebration for them because at last, Scapa is on the way and up and running. So look up Scapa. It's a UK destination as well. So, and you'll be hearing from Emily in the coming weeks as well. So that'd be really good. So she's coming on board. So anyway, that's enough for me. Again, thank you very much for everybody who's participated. Thank you very much for sticking with us and downloading. And don't forget to go onto the YouTube channel to watch some of the messages. And sorry, it's been a bit of a long one, this one. We try and keep it to about 40 minutes, but this is a special episode, and it's all about celebrating you women divers out there, so all around the world.
Yeah, so happy Women's Dive Day.
Yeah, and Gemma, your first PADI Women Dives Day as well, and we're going to go dive and celebrate it.
Exactly, we're going for a dive, and also it's the podcast's first Women's Dive Day as well. So
I know, it's a lot to say, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a day of celebration for, all things in one way and another.
Yeah, celebrate you women divers out there. So good for you, and thank you to all of you. So brilliant.
Yeah, have a great day.
Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy.
The best thing